fans. Timmy Vio here with the Panther Comms podcast. Thanks for hopping on here. I always appreciate you guys. So Panthers on the road again, and once again we take an L on the road. I think this L might be quadruple the size of the L that we've taken in the previous two L's this season, but yeah, I know a lot of people are calling for Canales' head and all that stuff. People just in the heat of the moment get on social media and type things of that nature. But with my keen eye, and I'm more than comfortable saying that, this is all about execution and playing complementary football. All three phases of the game were non-existent today. The defense looked like they did in Jacksonville. Undisciplined on the outside edge area, which is where they thrash us with the run game screens. Our outside linebackers, DJ Johnson to be specific, but Nick Scorton as well. Just taking bad angles, having what's called dirty eyes, losing the football. The Patriots coordinator, their OC is, he's extremely creative. It's a mix of him exposing Evero in his zone schemes. But at the same time, our pass rush was non-existent this game. And again, when you have a lead like the Patriots did, especially in the second quarter where they dropped 21 points on us in one quarter, again, thanks to the special teams, like a complimentary football, what are you going to do? It's Jacksonville all over again. We're playing from behind. It's Arizona all over again. We're playing from behind. We don't play from behind very well, especially when we're thin on talent. Losing our right guard before we even got to the half, and bringing in another guy, and that guy was replaced by Christensen. I mean, we had three bodies rotating at the right guard position. Accompanied the fact that we lost Moore first play. I mean, he's no Coker. Don't get me wrong, but he was something we could rely on. If you think back last year, sorry, my computer. It's a Panther fan too. But Moore is extremely reliable. He has a good rapport with Bryce. But there were a lot of things that happened in all three facets of the game that led to what is now a 42-13 thrashing by a then 1-2 Patriots team. Now, I have to say, though, this was obvious. It's different playing at home. Don't get me wrong. We won our game at home. But to have two former head coaches on your coaching staff, and I'm talking about the head coach and the OC, I'm not quite sure what the DC is, but having that type of experience, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. The Patriots play clean football, and they attack you relentlessly. I think that's something we need to learn how to do. But again, Canales is a good guy. He's a very smart coach. He's a player's coach. But I'm not quite sure if he himself understands what it's like to win. And then completely erase that from your mind and go on to the next week. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if there's too much dialogue going on during the game. If they need to make things more simple, in terms of the information getting from A to C, and make that A to B and that's it. I don't know per se, but it seems like the Patriots were really crisp with how they approached the entirety of the game. It was interesting. It was interesting, and again, we're 0-3 on the road. Is there something going on when they travel? I don't know, but nonetheless, we're gonna talk about that shit. Good Lord of mercy. So, week 4 is over. 42-13. Let's talk about the stats real quick. And for you guys and gals that are watching this on YouTube, let me get these stats up for you. And thanks again for joining me on the Panther Cons podcast. Been a Panther fan since 1995. My first jersey was a Tim Biakabatuka jersey. I believe he came out of Michigan. So you can imagine the turmoil that I have endured, and my fellow Panther fans have endured over these many years. Well, not many. We're not the Packers, but nonetheless, let me get this up here, man, because Lord have mercy. Okay, so and again, I always use the PDF from the actual game via NFL. So these are, it says a lot. These statistics say a lot. This is what the coaches and the coordinators use for their own breakdowns and stuff. So just real quick, let me get down here. Let's look at the individual stats real quick. Okay. Chuba almost averaged 5 yards a carry, and so did ETN. ETN busted one for 22 yards, but I think that was towards the end of the game. Excuse me. Yeah, so we had a total of 129 yards rushing, but that doesn't say a lot, considering we were playing from behind basically. Bryce had 30 attempts for 150 yards. That's horrible. In terms of our yards per throw, Jesus. He only had 18 completions. He got sacked one time. He had a passing touchdown to Tremble. Sorry. He came out of there with a 84 QBR. Or quarterback rating, excuse me. Man, he tossed the ball around. And I remember they were talking about in the first quarter, on our second drive, I believe it was our second drive, he already targeted 6 different players. I'm not quite sure what coach was thinking in terms of personnel when it came to the pass game. I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be hard for him to trust his backup interior lineman coming in there against this particular pass rush. But man, our O-line held their own in the first quarter, mind you. But the swing of the momentum from that punt return, three returns, 167 yards, 55.7 yard average. And that of course, again, that first one was 87 yarder for a touchdown. And that stadium went nuts. That stadium went absolutely bonkers. Yes, I said bonkers. I'm old. Shut up. um, but yeah, that's complimentary football is what cost us this game. That's the bottom line. I'm not gonna say we were outmatched. I just think we beat ourselves. The penalties, drive killing penalties, drops, a lot of bad technique on the edges on our defense. And I'll break that down on my TikTok account, and get into that. DJ Johnson cost us a lot of yards, a lot. Between him, Nick Scott, and Scorton a couple of times, it was Jacksonville all over again. Except we went up against a better coordinator. We went up against apparently a better coach team overall. Wow, it was bad. It was bad. Panthers defense gave up 462 yards total. 462 yards against a Patriots offense. Diggs was killing us. But anyway, so from a first down standpoint, granted we might have had the ball more. We'll see about that in just a second. We had 21 first downs. They had 16. Our third down efficiency was just as bad as theirs. Our fourth down efficiency was 33%, but that's not really relevant when you're playing from behind and you're not able to convert field position into points. I believe we were on the Patriots side of the field 4 times in the first half. And we only got a touchdown out of that, and then we missed the extra point. Then we missed the field goal. This is very frustrating. Anyway, 326 net yards versus, hold on, wow, I'm getting mixed. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you put that 307 net yards with the Patriots with their special teams, and 104 yards rushing. Yeah, that's a we almost let them get 500 yards, y'all. That is mind blowing. Mind blowing. I mean, this is. And again, time of possession. We had the ball almost 11 minutes more than they did, but so it's not complicated why we lost this game. Penalties, miscues, poor execution, and in some cases, poor coaching. Because instead of putting faith into your playbook and your players, you try to play it safe when you're getting your ass thrashed. It's not a good look. That's not a good look. It's really unfortunate that it had to go down like that. We lost that game in the first half. When you let a team drop 21 on you on their turf, and it's basically because it's just bad. I kind of want to say bad habits, but bad technique. I mean, it's extremely frustrating because, again, it's not like you haven't been practicing half the year. It's not like you haven't been prepping for this game, and this is the 4th game of the season. You should be tuned in to what you need to be doing. I mean, I kind of give a little bit of slack to Nick. Again, he's a rookie. He's just trying to go hard and and make a play. But somebody like DJ who has already been coached up, coming in there and doing, he still looks like a rookie. I don't know if converting him to putting him in a DN position, and get him in a 3 technique will help. I don't know. Just let him put his hand in the dirt and tell him to go get it. That might be the case, because you get that kid in a situation where he has to think, he screws up every time. It is amazing you standing that close to the line of scrimmage and you can't follow the football. It's crazy. And Nick Scott, it's pretty bad when you get juked so bad that you have to put your leg out and trip somebody up. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was was that 3rd and 15 we had them in. We were just trying to get them off the field, and it was. But nonetheless, now I'll make a video about that too. Nick Scott came down from his safety position on the run play, and it was 1-on-1, mano-a-mano, and he went hard right to his right for the juke, and then the running back cut back in towards his left shoulder, and he was so out of position that he had to put his leg out there and trip the guy. And that was a personal foul, and that gave him the automatic first down. Just bonehead plays. This was ridiculous. I'm not calling for people's jobs from a coaching standpoint. I'm not calling for that just yet. But the lack of organization and the lack of focus on the road, because that is clear. Out of 4 games, we lost 3 all on the road. That's a problem. We didn't travel across the country to Arizona. Well, I think we're going out to California eventually, or something like that. Another West Coast trip. This is New England. It's right up the street, so to say. I don't get it. Well, I do get it. That's why I'm on here. But nonetheless. Yeah. On to the next week. I don't even care who we play at this point. I just want to see improvements. I want to see a sustained method of improvement. We got a butt whooping. 35 minutes of football, we only put up 13 points. Wow. Anyway, all right. So on to the next week, and by all means, I appreciate you guys. Subscribe, help a brother out. Now I don't get paid for this, but I only do this during the season because I give a damn about football. But just not that much. Just the Panthers, what they're gonna do, and hopefully they'll turn this around, because what I'm seeing right now is a mix of a mix of a lack of attention to detail, a lack of motivation, and the unfortunate event of a lack of talent, because people just keep getting hurt. But other teams get hurt too. I mean, it is what it is. The next man got to step in line. I don't know. But this was horrible, because once again we beat ourselves. Real quick. Yeah, Big Wharton got a sack. That's good. It's crazy. We had the ball for almost 10 and a half minutes in the first quarter. We only got a touchdown out of that. I think that's a stat that is very troubling. 10 minutes and 29 seconds we had the football in the first quarter, and we only got 6 points out of that. But yeah, the special teams put us in a bad way. Outside of that, we played clean football. We just gave up a lot of chunk plays on defense. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. All right, Panther fans, I appreciate you guys. Y'all take care and try to enjoy your week. Start getting your Halloween candy if you hadn't already. And I'll see you guys on the next show. And again, check me out on TikTok and Twitter, and I have some video breakdowns of the all 22 videos coming up. All right. Thanks, guys and gals. Y'all keep pounding. Peace.